So, ladies and gentlemen, welcome to our video of Mars in the second house in Sagittarius for Scorpio ascendant people. As in, what happens when Mars is in the second house in the sign of Sagittarius while it rules the ascendant, while it rules the sixth house. And as always, if you do not know, if you have this particular position, what sign it's in, what nakshatra it's in, along with all your astrological details, check out the links here, astrology.com, where you'll find my books, reports, consultations, and link to my academy, Maga Vedic Astrology Academy, where you'll find my, of course, brand new course, Nandinari course, where I'm actually going to be discussing wealth and marriage, how wealth comes in, how if marriage happens or not. Literally within 5, 6, 7, 10 seconds, you'll just know what's happening. This is how amazing Nandinari is. Now, anyway, Mars is in the second house, right? Here, one thing you will notice with Mars in the second house in Sagittarius is that, first of all, the individual will very strongly be determined to take on the lineage of the family, wanting to carry on the ability to make money of the family. And if, let's say, Mars is alone, or let's say even Saturn is there, usually you will see that somehow they're being born and coming into the family of soldiers, police, fighters, security, people who have always protected the boundaries. Mars and naturally in the second house, okay, definitely shows that the family would be plagued by enormous debt, especially connected with land, or borrowed money, especially from brother-in-law or the brother itself. Maybe the mother borrowed money from her own brother to do certain things. Then at the same time, this is a placement where your ability to make money becomes, and again, this is, you can say extremely easy, extremely simple, is when you have an aggressive speech. But aggressive philosophical speech. You notice if you are in sales, whether it's that you're doing B2B sales, you're doing, I don't know, what they call cloud sales nowadays, right? Or you're just selling cars. The more you become like a philosopher, the more you become like some kind of like a teacher guru who is very strong, aggressive with their speech, then you can sell whatever you want. Okay. But usually you will see people with the Scorpio Sun and Mars in the second house. Money will come through land, real estate, security, police, engineering. That's going to be one of the ways. But of course, you have to know Venus. Wherever Venus is placed, that's where the maximum money is coming. That shows how money really truly comes in. Okay. And at the same time, because of the fact Mars is the ascendant lord in the second house, okay, money will always be coming through the family. One will gain something from the family through which they are either gaining money or having the ability to earn money. But also you will notice with this particular Mars, father's family, okay, would deal with many disputes, especially like disputes amongst brothers, dispute among the family due to land. Some form of dispute will be taking place, and sometimes you may play a part in it. Even as a child, like as a child, you might get two families fighting with each other because of something you did, because you wanted to do it. And you will also see one of your maternal aunts and uncles you'll have a very challenging relationship with them. Either it's a very invisible relationship or just that they're not going to like you. And when Mars is in the second in Sagittarius, this also become a very fiery position where you can discipline your children sometimes through, physicality. because this person is very proudful or prideful about their family, their lineage, and if the children are not following into the same footsteps, they will exert whatever power they have to make sure that the children are getting that. And you got to understand, if you have this particular type of attitude and notion, remember, first of all, your children are not your own. They're a different soul from some different life coming just through you. That's it. You don't own them. You don't, nothing. They can do whatever they want and you have no right. You can only kind of guide them, but once you force it, at one point they will retaliate against you. 100% of the time it will be that way. When you don't force something, when you make something enjoyable, children grasp it. So if you force them to learn Bhagavad Gita, no, you're going to learn what Krishna was saying to Arjun. And if you don't remember the sloka, you're going to get a slap. They're going to feel repelled by that book once they are old. They would want to run as far away from that thing as possible. So don't do that. And yes, Mars in the second house will create a conflict with your father related to some form of family asset that is going to take place. And father deals with a major transformation. Huge change comes in father's life after your birth. That is very, very evident with this Mars. Yeah, and this Mars, usually, like I said, the person either becomes very patriotic about the country or very patriotic about the paternal lineage. And you can call it an ego, you can call it being prideful, it's the same thing. It's very hard to sometimes get along with such a person. They will constantly tell you how great they are or how great their lineage is. And of course, when Mars is in the second house, you will see 28th year becomes very significant for their ability to earn money or get some kind of a big gain in their life. Some big gain happens around 28th year. Okay. So, and then also, you got to understand, because Sagittarius, right, is a sign of religion, banking, philosophy. You got to understand, Mars here doesn't reject something. Mars here actually becomes far more crude and disciplined about it. They're like, oh, you want me to learn this about the family? I'm going to show you I can do it. You want me to be aggressive related to money and banking? I'll be the best you ever had. You want me to take over family business, family responsibility? I'll be the best at it. It becomes very, strong personality with this. Now you have Rahu, Saturn, Mercury, all these things will alter these things in some way or another. Whether it's giving breaks, whether it's giving hindrances, whether a person aggressively takes things from the family. There are going to be people who are born today. Some baby is probably being born today who's going to take entire family's assets without the family wanting to give that to that child. They'll forcefully take it and throw the family out. Somebody's being born today with those particular notions. So this is why with this Mars, those things tend to play out, especially influence of the malefic planets. And one thing you will also see, if it's in a male's chart, even a female chart, you will see that the male will always be nourished by the female. Will always be taken care of by the wife and the female in the family. In a female's chart, it is going to show spouse is going to control your wealth. Spouse is going to control the assets. Brother will take over the family assets and wealth, whether they're younger brother or older, especially younger brother, is going to be seen here. And maybe you would want to do that. You want to give that to them because the way Mars is positioned is that it's a very righteous younger brother you have. So you wouldn't mind doing these things. And if malefics are surrounding it, then you're going to feel like you're being forced to give control of something that you don't want to. You're being forced to give control of something to your spouse that you didn't want to. Okay. So anyway, guys, this is my analysis of Mars in the second house in Sagittarius for Scorpio ascendant people. If you're new to my channel, subscribe below so you don't miss these type of videos. If you want to know where your Mars is placed along with all your astrological details, check out the links here, astrology.com. Otherwise, we'll see you later. Bye-bye.